Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If you're just seeing this pretty face for the first time, my name is Chinagorom, Nagorom for short, and I'm back again with a new sit down video, not a vlog this time, not a vlog. I'm back again with a new sit down video. I'll be discussing a very interesting topic, so just chill. Do you have your popcorn, your coke? Just chill, sit down and watch this video to the end. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do well to subscribe. The subscribe button is the button you'll be seeing at the right hand side of my channel. It's written subscribe. It could be in red, black, whatever color it is. The most important thing is that you tap on the button and tap on the notification bell so that each time I post, you'll be the first to get a notification. Anyways, let's dive right into the video. Welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's another intro for me. We have yet another topic with Mr. Chima, and I'll be asking him some questions. Oftentimes, I heard that when you go, if you're Nigerian, well, I'm Nigerian. If you're Nigerian, you go to European countries, American countries, and you show your green passport. In fact, it's just like a death sentence for you. So today, see, Africans, we have values, oh, we have qualities, we have cultural heritage. So Mr. Chima will be dissecting it just the way you want it, hot, hot, hot. So, all right, today's topic will be on the. I've been able. So when you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone. Today's topic will be on the beauty of Africa as a continent. So, Mr. Chima, what do you have to say when it comes to Africa? Like, what are those rich cultural heritage we have as a continent? Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sandra, for having me once again here.
Thank you.
Uh, when you talk about the beauty of Africa,
Mhm.
first of all, let me also address the issue of when you show your passport in the Western world and it will be seen as a death sentence or you'll be seen as a criminal and all of that. That's the tricks of the Western world. And in the beauty of Africa, it is part of what is uh, making the Western world frigid when they see us. They are being threatened, they are being scared, not that we are criminals, but because of what we have, because of the beauty, the things that God has blessed us with. In the African continent, Africa as a whole, the best brains you can think of in the world, the Africans. The Africans. If you go to the United States, you discover that the best medical doctors, the best engineers there, they're all Africans. So because of that, how will you feel, Miss Sandra? Let me ask you, how will you feel that in your place, in your village, you see a stranger coming into your village
To dominate.
to dominate your place, and is endowed with a lot of talents, a lot of
Intellect.
intellects? How will you feel? Each time
Obviously
you would
bad.
want to use your citizenship and all of that to intimidate such person.
Yeah.
So most of those things they do there. So as for the beauty of Africa, Africa is so. I watched a commentary. If you look at or you read through the history of Africa, you will discover that we were not slaves from the beginning. We were not slaves. Africans were living on their own before the emergence of the our slave masters. First in Ghana, the Portuguese, before they came and began the slave trading and all of that. We were on our own, living and enjoying ourselves. So, but when they came and saw the talents, saw the physical strength, saw the wisdom, they said, no, we need to bring these people down. We need to make them, if we don't suppress them, they will become what power. Apart from the slave trading that they used to make us look inferior, Africa, in fact, till today, Africa is a world power. I tell you the truth. Because when you talk about talents, what makes someone to say is a world power? Chinese, what are they doing? They are doing productions. They can sit down and put one or two things together and produce something. In Africa, we can do more better than Chinese. And that was why when they came, the part of what the strategies they used was to impoverish us, gave us wrong mindset, gave us wrong orientation, did what they did to turn ourselves against ourselves. So that we don't build that momentum, we don't build that strength that can help us to develop our environment. That's what they did. So Africa is so beautiful because we have all the endowments from God that can develop our environment. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So, once again, I have another question for you. There are times when you go to, in fact, in my own opinion, I don't think going to another African country, I'm African, I don't think going to another African country, I need a passport. I need a visa, rather, sorry. I need a visa. That's in my own opinion. So, what is this? I still believe that people from the West Africa kind of isolate themselves from people, from the other side of, different parts of African countries. And what is this? I think there is this source, there is this thing that unites us, but we are about losing it. We are losing the value, we are losing a lot of things. I wouldn't mention the name of the channel without permission. So I watched his videos. In fact, he's majorly a YouTuber that shows us everything about Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, a lot of places, Ghana, Namibia, a lot of places. And in those videos, when I watch them, I'll be like, so Africa is this blessed. And yet we are looking at ourselves as being so the subordinates in the whole world. So my question now is, what are those things? What do you have to say to us, we the Africans? What do you have to say to us about us?
Okay. When you talk about in ideal situation,
Yeah.
you do not need visa to enter into any African country. All you need is your passport that shows
That
your
identifies you.
yeah, that identifies the country where you're coming from
Yeah.
as an African. But the challenge we have is bad leadership, which is the product of our colonial masters. Those were the wrong impressions they gave to us. Those were the things they planted to ensure that we don't unite. Part of their strategy is to cause disunity in Africa, knowing that if African countries, African continent can come together and build this unity of purpose, it will not take us the extent of time it took United States to become what they are. It will take us all of that time. It's just within a twinkling of an eye. We'll be able to turn the African continent into what every other person will begin to rush into Africa. But they knew that, of course, the scripture also said, even English language also made it clear that united will stand, divided
Divided.
will fall. It's just that divide and rule that they gave to us. That's what is what killing us. We had a congress in Africa, All African Youth Congress in Ghana sometime last year. The president of Ghana, the Ghanaian president, gave us free visa from all the African countries that were in attendance in that congress. He gave us free visa. You come in with your passport. Even if you don't have passport, you have your national ID card.
Yeah.
You go into Ghana
Wow.
just like that.
Wow.
You
That's
understand?
amazing.
That's what it's supposed to be. So it is just our colonial masters that has divided us this way. Thank you.
Okay. I think I want to. It's more like a suggestion and a question as well. Okay. I know you have a topic. You had a topic you discussed in why you went to Ghana. So I really want to know. I enjoyed watching the video, and I said, no, this has to come to my channel. Let's tell the whole world who we are. We are Africans. We are unshakable. We are not. We don't. You can't bend us. We have our egos high. So I would love you to, throw more light on, most of the things. What you think about Africa as a continent?
Okay. The truth, like I said earlier, Africa is so blessed
Yeah.
that we are blessed in our brain, we are blessed in our strength. And what makes a great man is what can come out of his head and the strength he has to work out that thing that is in his head. So God has blessed us that way. It is just for us to put it into practice, develop ourselves. Just like I mentioned in the congress that we went in Ghana, I was given an opportunity to make a presentation on this our African continent, and I was able to look at few points that is the problem of we the Africans. We look at ourselves, we judge ourselves by the mindset of the Western world, not by who we are. We do not so much believe in ourselves. We look at ourselves. Now, but in that presentation, I also made it clear that if a man is endowed in his brain and he can be able to package something and present to the world, that man is not poor.
He's rich. Yeah.
He's rich because he's rich in his brain.
Yes.
He's rich everywhere because what is in his brain can turn the whole world.
Yeah, he can make us something.
He can make us something out of it. But because we don't value ourselves and what God has given us, that's why we feel that our environment, we are all. Sandra, let me shock you. The theme of that our Congress was Africa, my home, my future. And so our slogan was Africa, you say my home. Africa, you say my future. One young man was close to me, who is also in Nigeria, went for the Congress. And when we shout Africa, he will say my home. You shout before when you want to shout the second Africa, he will say Canada, my future. He said that Africa is not my future because that every possible means he sees now to move to Canada, he has come, he will move to Canada. So he will shout Africa, my home, Canada, my future. And I was trying to change that impression from him. What are you going to Canada to do? You do not need to travel to Canada to become who God has made you to be. God is not foolish that He made you an African. If He wanted you to be United States, an indigenous of the United States, He would have made it. But for Him to have created you here means that there is something He has created you here to do. Is for you to find it out. And you see that our people are carrying what God has given to us, which would have blessed our environment. And they're using it to go and develop. If the best medical doctor in US is a Nigerian or is an African, don't you think that that is what God has given to us, that is supposed to have blessed us? And so, because we have not put this thing, that's why we look at ourselves as being poor compared to what you can see out there. And then I also looked at the.
Sorry to cut you short. There are exceptional cases, in my own opinion.
Yeah.
When you made mention of medical doctors going abroad to practice and all of that, I have a friend whose husband is a medical doctor. Man, as in while in Nigeria, she's someone I know one on one. So while in Nigeria, the husband was paid little or nothing compared to his experiences, and he was opportune to travel to a different country. And guess what? He's making it, and by the grace of God, they've all traveled. So when you have that knowledge in you, you're naturally endowed with knowledge, and your society does not allow you to travel to explore. What do you do at the end of the day? You will look out for places where you can explore. That's what I understand by people try. Most of the people that reside abroad, I don't think they are happy where they are. I've had a lot of friends telling me, they are very cold, out of the results of the weather. They are so cold and a lot of things are happening. They're not happy because of where they are, but because of the society where they find themselves, they can't explore, they can't express themselves, they can't even sleep with their two eyes closed. So in that case, they are being forced and subject to traveling to other countries.
Yeah, I agree with you on one side. I disagree with you on the other side. Agreeing with you on the side that yes, of course, the we have bad government, we have bad governance in the whole of Africa. Now, but let me ask, if you discover that there is problem here, what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is to look for solution to that problem. Running to United States or running to Canada or running to wherever you run to is not the lasting solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is this error of our leaders. How do we correct it? Oh, of course, Sandra, let me tell you the truth. There are laws that guides our existence in Africa.
Yeah.
But the problem is that very many of us are illiterates to those laws. Permit me to use that language. That we don't know them, and that's why we cannot hold our leaders responsible. That place they are running to. One of the things that have developed that environment is that every young person knows what is the provision of the law and stands by the provision of the law. They live by the rule of the law.